These are dangerous times.
Godzilla's out there and he's hurting people and we don't know why.
There's something provoking him that we're not seeing here.
I'm of the same opinion.
The myths are real. There was a war. And they're the last ones standing.
I keep reaching for greatness because I'm built for it.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Hey everyone, welcome to Garbage In, Garbage Out. I'm Kelton, one of your co-hosts, and joining me as always today is my co-host. Yeah, it's Grift. How's it going, buddy?
It's good. What's up?
Not a whole lot, you know. Surprisingly, as a matter of fact, we actually have a guest this week. Someone we've managed to con onto our little project here. It's Cole.
That's right. Hi, I'm good. How you guys been?
I'm still just riding the wave of this movie. I recently rewatched it earlier today in anticipation.
I saw it for the first time last night, and I think that watching it at 3 a.m. was about the perfect time to watch it.
I think that's what Adam Wingard had in mind when he was making this
exactly.
film. Someday someone is going to be watching this movie at 3 a.m. and fully appreciate all the tangents that he throws in there, all the little Easter eggs.
Yeah, this movie really came out at like just the perfect time because it's the quintessential summer blockbuster. We got White Boy Summer coming in hot recently, and
R.I.P. to White Boy Summer, by the way.
Oh yeah, I mean R.I.P. to Chet Hanks, but White Boy Summer,
White Boy Summer is still going. Yeah, it's bigger. It's bigger than Chet now.
It was always bigger than one man.
I get it.
Or one boy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this movie really did seem to kind of come at this bizarre watershed moment where we didn't really have a whole lot to talk about outside of this movie for about 5 days online.
Absolutely. This movie did what the Snyder Cut should have done and come out like right when we were finally getting people all vaxxed up and shit. And people are ready to go back to the theaters. Godzilla vs. Kong is the real white hat. There was that was the plan all along.
You know Snyder is fuming right now, just thinking about how...
He's a little mad.
Yeah, this thing literally just reignited the entire domestic box office. I'm looking at some numbers here. It made $48.5 million over 5 days, which is like by far the biggest opening post-pandemic.
That's fucking right.
And it's like, you know, my AMC stock is up. Movies are back. It's up like 13% today. It has to be because of the success of this movie.
I'm trusting the plan.
Yeah.
I absolutely think golden hands with AMC.
No, yeah, I also just made like 10%. I'm close. I'm only $20 down from when I first invested.
All right, come on, James Gunn Suicide Squad. Let's bring it home. Let's bring ourselves some profit here.
AMC was always a long-term play.
Exactly. This is like the fourth movie that is like tried to bring back cinema, and it's done the best. Like there was the Snyder Cut.
Not even fucking Chris Nolan could bring back movies.
Yeah. Tenet was the first one. He was like, "You're all gonna die." And see
I can't imagine dying or catching COVID because of Tenet. Like Tenet is the movie that like will give you tinnitus if you didn't already have it because of COVID from that fucking thing.
I also watched that movie at 3 a.m. and that's a movie you should not watch at 3 a.m. because it makes no fucking sense.
So would you recommend it at like 3 p.m.? Would that make it make more sense?
Like you gotta watch that if you have nothing else planned to think about that day. Because you're gonna need like a whiteboard and a chart to figure that shit out.
No, it's okay. I have like some mediocre looking white guy who has a 20-minute YouTube video saying Tenet explained in all caps.
Yeah, here's what you really missed watching Tenet.
Yeah, so I guess you could say it's the infinite jest of movies.
It really is.
Yeah.
God damn it. Griff finishes one book and all of a sudden that's his cultural reference point.
I finished one book. My girlfriend breaks up with me. You know, I'm all in the toxic white boy tip right now.
You are ready for White Boy Summer.
Oh my god. Just fucking rare.
Move over Discworld. It's Disc Golf World. There you go. Just enjoy. I mean, it also seems like in general when Godzilla versus Kong came out, there was this disparity initially that happened of where critics weren't really on board with it, audiences were incredibly on board with it, and then critics kind of wisened up because I mean rightfully so, everyone started lambasting them, saying like, we're not saying this is the greatest movie of all time, we're saying that this is a great theater movie and it's perfectly serviceable, so shut the fuck up before we dox you and your family.
Exactly. It's the least shit American movie to have Godzilla in the title in probably world history. And that's saying a lot.
It's a high bar to clear simply because of the amount of bodies that are stacked underneath.
Exactly. And probably like top 3 of any movie that has King Kong in the title.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Like, we'll dive into like our general thoughts for it. But I mean, I really liked the characterization of King Kong in this film, and I mean, it was nice to actually see them make like a legitimate protagonist out of King Kong. Whereas in Skull Island, he seemed to kind of be this outside force for the most part. And they didn't seem to know what to do with him. So it all finally came together, I guess. But yeah, so audiences kind of gave this movie like a 7.5. Critics gave this movie a 6.5. It's this obligatory point in time as we are still trying to figure out the specifics of our rating system of where we have to rate a number of trash cans, right? 1 to 4 trash cans. And then the more trash cans it has, the worse the movie is, right?
Yeah. You're
Well,
throwing more garbage out there. If it's worse.
The how much garbage is coming in, how much is going out. TM. All right, copyright that. Let's do it. I would probably put this at like there's 1 trash can full, at least for me.
Yeah.
Maybe 1.5.
Yeah, I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd, so I would say that's like 1.5 trash cans.
Well, fine. Thank you so much, by the way, Cole, for reverse engineering exactly how our ratings are.
Yeah.
It's the inverse of a 4-star review. Oh man. Now I feel like a damn fool. I mean my biggest issue with this movie, and it seems like the MonsterVerse as a whole, has been the human characters.
Absolutely.
Like, I did not give a single fuck about this. The reason I rewatched this movie today when I did was to clock the amount of monster fighting that occurred. If you had to guess the total number of minutes of monster fighting, not monster screen time, but monster fighting that occurred, what would y'all guess the over-under at?
30 minutes?
Yeah, I was thinking half an hour. That sounds about right. Probably still
30 minutes.
Too much. Like it's
it's no more than 20 minutes. The initial clocking I had was at like 16 minutes and 38 seconds. So that is a not too much actual brawling that's taking place between these behemoths. And in a 2-hour movie with Godzilla and Kong, I definitely want more goddamn Godzilla and more goddamn Kong.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of Godzilla in this movie, honestly. It was much more of a King Kong movie. I felt somewhat betrayed.
Especially if he's getting first billing.
Exactly.
It's some deceptive marketing.
Yeah, that's some anti-Asian hate right there against Godzilla.
Yeah, and the most interesting character in the movie, in my opinion, was the Asian dude who, I mean, I'm not going to get into spoilers just yet, but he barely even gets any characterization in the movie.
Yeah.
And he's like a central plot point.
I mean, he got about as much screen time as like the dad character from the previous movie.
And you know who didn't get any screen time that I'm very thankful for is Bradley Whitford. Oh my God. I am so glad that he is not in this movie.
Oh, come on. You don't enjoy his smarmy, like winking at the camera dialogue every single line?
Someone tweeted this at me, but apparently he based his performance in King of the Monsters off Rick and Morty. Like he was like, I watched Rick and Morty to get into the role of the guy from Godzilla.
Oh God.
That fucking makes sense. I mean, if nothing else, Bradley Whitford commits to the bit of the acting. Like he doesn't understand exactly what he's acting in. Look at his role in Get Out and then his commentary on Parasite.
I would have voted for Obama a third time if I could.
Yeah, I would have given Parasite another Oscar if I could.
It rules. He's such an idiot.
But I mean, the other factor with him especially is that it feels good now for me to say this because I feel like history has vindicated me. But he is the default guy you give all of the Joss Whedon rewrite lines to in every movie.
Absolutely.
And it certainly seemed like that. In the other film of Godzilla, King of the Monsters, it was monsters are fighting quick. Let's do a cutaway. Let's see what Bradley Whitford has to say. Drop some line like, "I'm glad he's on our side." Ha ha ha. Yeah, that'll make the dads go fucking ape shit in their cargo shorts.
I just thought of the most cursed thing when you mentioned Bradley Whitford and Joss Whedon. Josh Whedon's The West Wing.
Oh God. Soy facing is the nuke China.
We don't want to, but we have to liberate them. That's the only way.
Somehow the female characters are written in an even more derogatory fashion than Sorkin.
Yeah, it's real bad when Sorkin has a more nuanced take on the female psyche than you do.
They have to because the West Wing obviously cribs a lot from the headlines. So they're like, we have to stop them before they figure out Epstein's connection to us through our Funko Pop ring or something.
That is something that we all need to be thankful for, is that Funko Pops and West Wing did not have any overlap whatsoever.
Yes, but I am kind of sad that Epstein and the West Wing never had a crossover.
Oh my God. It's like, yeah, we have to stop Gamergate before it gets the right-wing populace elected.
We're sending out a kill squad to go... We're going to put a stop to Gamergate once and for all.
The only issue is that, in that world, Aaron Sorkin's bad guys would truly believe that the crux of their conflict did, in fact, relate to ethics in gaming journalism. That would be the thing that they actually
It's about the principle of it.
So let's talk a little bit about the background of Godzilla versus Kong. Are y'all familiar with just the absolute fucked up mess that is the rights to Godzilla at all?
Yes.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
I know that the American rights are owned through contract and it has to be renewed.
Yes.
Through to Legendary Pictures, I think, is the specific
correct
right holders. And then I'm not too sure about what's up with King Kong. I think they just straight up own that.
Yes, Legendary got in early on owning the rights to King Kong. So that's all theirs. They have Godzilla.
Who absolutely should be in the public domain. There's 60 years where there was just no King Kong. From 1920 to 1970, there was no King Kong movies. And then they were like, all right.
Well, we got this. We got this other thing kind of collecting dust right now. Let's see what we can slap together and then have Peter Jackson remake. See what will occur. We can buy that.
I haven't seen that movie in really long, but I remember not hating it.
It wasn't
that movie ruled. It may not hold up because of the length and the CGI probably.
Also, how old were you when you last saw it, Griff? That's the real question.
Yeah, not recently, but I remember loving that movie back in the day.
Yeah, I probably saw it when I was 10, and it felt like it had the Mummy vibes to it. Yeah. So and I fuck with that.
My biggest memory of King Kong is watching it in theaters. I don't remember anything from it, but then watching the ads for it when it hit HD DVD, and that being the big push for HD DVDs instead of Blu-ray. And that was some bullshit. Legendary Pictures has the rights to Kong kind of permanently. And then for Godzilla, they have it on lease from Toho. The rights actually expired in 2020. So they're going to have to renegotiate if we want to see Godzilla back again, which is my way of guessing that I don't think we'll see Godzilla for another 5 years.
I think that they will, honestly, because
I think they're going to try and boost up Kong a little bit, get him another couple of movies.
Really?
I mean that would be my guess for Legendary, at least. But I mean,
yeah, I
would love to be proven wrong. More Godzilla, please.
Yeah, King of the Monsters ate shit, but I feel like if this movie does really well, and it's on track to doing really well too hard, then I think Toho might be wanting to cough up the rights to it because they're like done with movies. They're doing smaller scale stuff. They got like an anime coming. They just did another anime with Netflix, and they're doing some other anime again with Netflix. And
Netflix is just buying up every anime property that they
Exactly.
possibly can. It is wild. So anyway, that's kind of the overarching behind the scenes on like the contract side. In terms of the actual development of this movie, they announced it in October of 2015. They started writing this movie in March of 2017. There are 5 total writers on this goddamn movie, and man, does it feel like it sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. There are 2 of note, really 2 main writers. 3 of them are like story by credits, so who knows what their actual involvement was in passing. But one of them did a whole bunch of uncredited rewrites on Marvel properties like Thor Ragnarok, and then also Black Widow that's coming out soon. So
I do see a little bit of Thor Ragnarok in this, just a little bit, but it's not like a bad amount. Like, I don't know, this movie never felt like it was like fucking King of the Monsters, where it felt like it was Guardians of the Galaxy or some shit.
King of the Monsters was really swinging for the fences of trying to make every monster feel like its own independent disaster movie. And just big swing and a big miss, at least in my opinion, for it. So
yes,
I can't wait to rewatch it for just the monster scenes and flash forward through everything else, because why the fuck else would I? The other guy who wrote it, though, wrote the 2014 Godzilla and then also King of the Monsters. So he was, I guess, the person who we can blame, quote unquote, for some of the not so good aspects here. But then a few months later, in May 2017, that's then when they actually got a director, Adam Wingard, who, if you'd seen The Guest or You're Next, or I guess less good, the Blair Witch Project remake, or
he also did the American Death Note.
No, we don't talk about that movie. No, come on.
I respect what he was going for.
Do you? What specifically do you respect?
I think that at a certain point that script was trying to deconstruct the idea of a Death Note, and then Netflix got involved, and they were like, "You have to also make the Stranger Things."
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yeah.
He was like, "Fuck."
I can't feel too bad for this director though, because his next project that he's going to be working on for Warner Bros. Is the Thundercats. So we can look forward to
that's about to be tight. I'm hyped for that.
I don't want to keep getting you like more hype for it, but like it's rumored that Vin Diesel might be Panthro, and that's all I want to see.
I'm less hyped for that because you got to go black guy for Panthro.
I get it.
You gotta go like a Lance Reddick or like some deep ass black, like the Allstate guy.
Oh, okay. And then you spray paint him like blue gray. Is that the
exactly?
Okay. I got
yeah. I think he was also on tap to do the Metal Gear movie.
All the more credit to him. I don't want to see him get swallowed up by the studio system. So if he's able to kind of do Thundercats in a fun way, then credit to him where credit is due. All of that is at least I'm saying to try and bring about the larger point of this kind of seems like the first like bona fide director that is actually being brought forward into the Monsterverse. Because if you look at like what the other guys did, it doesn't really kind of speak to having any sort of pedigree behind it. I want to say, like, when Gareth Edwards is your heaviest hitter and he came out in 2014 Godzilla, and then you're asking like, well, what else did he do? Well, Rogue One, except the main cinematographer was the guy who actually made that movie instead. But whatever, for that behind the scenes drama. That's an entirely different discourse that we can talk about whenever like the 19th Star Wars movie comes out, and then we can all rehash and talk about that again. But I felt like having a real director kind of made a difference with how these scenes were shot, because you actually got to see the scope of the monsters with the action coming from the ground instead of hovering at monster eye level or happening right through a helicopter blade or whatever. It just really kind of added an element of grandeur to watching these monsters just kind of suplex each other into buildings.
Yeah, I mean, I just enjoyed seeing a multi-carrier United States fleet just get absolutely fucked up. just
it rocked.
Yeah, just like just to get into the sort of overall metaphors I saw for the characters in this film. Like, I mean, Kong, he just wants to chill. He just like he's basically like the American working class person. He just wants to vibe. He just wants to live a good life. But then he gets roped into this inner elite conflict by the corporation against his far Asian foe, the Godzilla, or the Chinese working class, who should be his friend, but he's sort of like set up in this bracket style tournament, which the opening credits sort of pay homage to the fact that they've both beaten other creatures in the past. And I actually really liked that credit sequence, the way it was just like very, very to the point.
As someone who's missing the NCAA championship game right now, so we can be recording tonight, I appreciate the fact that there's a March Madness style bracket there. It's very good.
I actually wish that the movie's marketing leaned more into the pay-per-view fight aesthetic that people forced on this movie.
They really forced it on this movie. There was nothing going on, especially in the third act, that would make you feel like it was a pay-per-view fight. None whatsoever.
Yeah. I also, in regards to the carrier fight, I did get like Evangelion vibes from that. I don't know if anyone else was noticing that, but it did feel, and I'm wondering, like, was this on purpose, or is this just me like watching too many movies or some shit? But it felt like there's a similar carrier fight where like the mechs have to like jump across like big United States fucking aircraft carriers, and I'm like, okay, that could have been a reference.
It could have. I mean, Adam Wingard is the type who I think he will try and include references throughout. He had talked about how he viewed Godzilla as like the Undertaker a little bit.
That kind of rock.
Yeah, and how he, in his portrayal of Kong, he said he was inspired by John McClane from the Die Hard franchise with Kong a little bit. And, you know, that makes sense to give Kong that action hero kind of trope. So again, Wingard seems like he's pulling from all these different aspects across pop culture and putting into the giant big monster fight movie, which is, I think, what a real director actually does, instead of someone who is going like, oh wow, Warner Brothers just gave me $20 million. I better not fuck this up or else my career is gone. Oh no, I fucked it up. I guess my career is gone. Time to become an indie darling from now on.
Damn, so in his mind, Kong is a cop.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
That's right, Godzilla's woke. Team Godzilla, we out here.
I guess also, just in kind of like the last few production notes here, they finished casting in June of 2017. So they had everyone wanted in June of 2017. The movie doesn't end up coming out for almost 4 years after they finished the casting call. Almost 2 years, or I'm sorry, more than 2 years after they actually wrap up filming completely in April of 2019. And what did we think about the cast before we dive into the actual plot here? Were y'all just taken away by any characters in particular, or not?
Rebecca Hall was kind of fine in this movie.
I mean, like we're gonna get into the podcaster rights narrative.
Absolutely,
so
we will.
I enjoyed the pre-QAnon treatment of conspiracy theories, and the
hell yeah,
and the key role that investigative podcasts serve to the common good.
Yeah, they do the real work, at least circa April 2019 when they were filming this. And, no further complications. But yeah, I guess those are kind of our basic thoughts. So without further ado, we can go ahead and dive into the rundown. We can start off with that March Madness style bracket of the opening credits as we're trying to figure out like what OG monster is defeating what along its way. The Tournament of Titans, I think, is what people are calling it. I mean, I really enjoyed that. I mean, that's calling your shot basically as a movie, saying like this is going to be what ends up happening. And you know, I appreciated that.
Yeah, it was a good like mission statement from the outset, and it also like was a clever way to summarize the past movies in the MonsterVerse.
Yes, because I cannot emphasize this enough. You do not need to see any of the other movies to understand.
Absolutely not.
Especially because the lore sucks, and like they just basically get rid of everything that sucked about those previous movies. They get rid of like the weird like paramilitary organization that was housing all the monsters. They get rid of the fucking all the like stupid lore that they tried to establish with like the all the monsters like having like fuck, what was it in 24? I'm
No. I think you're referencing the lore that was built up in the 2017 movie, and specifically by Thomas Middleditch, because he was the chief technology officer. Which, man,
fuck, that's right, he was.
Good casting there, Warner Bros. Wonder why he wasn't back for this movie. What could possibly go wrong? Just falling apart left and right. So the movie itself is set 5 years after King of the Monsters. So after Godzilla's defeated Monster Zero and is living like in this bizarre Truman Show type world of a dome on Skull Island, which I didn't quite understand, because I thought Skull Island kept him isolated enough from everyone, but then they're keeping him on a dome in Skull Island. So kind of,
I think that was because Godzilla was like awake and active,
that's right. That's right. Yeah, they
if he like sensed him, then shit would go down. I liked the subtle world building where you see that like these movies have had like consequences and shit.
Mm-hmm. That, I mean, they don't shy away from that. That is true of Warner Brothers, just kind of across the board. They love showing the real consequences of their movies, of their shit movies, but still the real consequences.
Although in the final battle, sorry to skip ahead, but there was absolutely no scenes of any civilians. They were just destroying those buildings, like just fucking wrecking shit. Just I didn't see a single person at all.
They cut to Lance Reddick, who has a weird like 20-second cameo as like a Hong Kong police officer, which is like, how the fuck did you get there?
Nepotism, clearly.
And
that's how.
And he was like, we have to evacuate the city. Like Godzilla's showing up. They do a similar thing in Batman versus Superman, where they're like, good thing it's the warehouse district and everyone's gone home for the day.
Oh yeah,
and it's like
it's deserted. There's no civilians. It's like they know for sure. Like they're just, okay, you got to cover our bases here. We gotta.
Which is like, I guess if you live in a world where Godzilla, then you would kind of be ready to like fucking dip in like a second, but. Even then, it was like, give me some scenes of people running around or some shit.
You think rent is high now? Imagine how rent would be in a Godzilla world. How many months deposit do you think they would ask for?
Oh man, there would be like WeWork, but for evacuation shelters.
Yeah,
that's all Monarch is actually. It's just WeWork for this society.
Imagine how based it would be, though, that instead of having lockdown drills, you would have kaiju drills.
Oh, yeah.
That would be kind of tight, yeah. It would get rid of an entire section of Twitter of, like, just people, like, being like, oh, fuck, like, mass shooting. Everyone's scared. Because it would be like, how mad can you get about that when a big-ass fucking dinosaur, like, wrecks an entire city once a week?
Can you imagine being a mass shooter? Like, you're getting all hyped up. You're getting ready for it. You're on all of the 8chan boards getting psyched up. Then, like, the day it's about to happen, Godzilla levels your high school. And you're like, well, fuck. Better luck next time, I guess.
It kind of comes out in the wash. Like, I'm going to sit this one out.
People start blaming their creepy DMs they sent on the trauma they experienced from the latest monster attack.
I just say that I built clout in roughly 46,000 followers by talking about kaiju, but really what I want to do is try and ask Canadians where they live so I can send them shitty 4th grade hand drawings.
Where's your address? I need to send you an evacuation center card.
That's exactly right.
Man, what's your zip code? I need to see what Titan is active in your area for your own safety. Oh, that's epic.
The kaiju department. he's got the Thomas Middletich Abbey like as.
We all should have seen it coming. I don't know how. Did y'all appreciate just how fucking yoked Kong got in between the 1970s Skull Island movie and now? Like the dude fucking grew 200 and something feet, you know?
It's fucked up how jacked he gets. They buff him so hard. As a Godzilla fan, like they did him so dirty.
Yeah, it really was one of those things of like, well, how could Kong beat Godzilla? And then they're going through all these questions. I mean, at least none of us had initially thought about, well, what if they just grew Kong like 3 times his current size, huh?
I think what happens is he got into pre-workout. He just has a massive like fucking shipping container of pre-workout that he takes every day, and that's what he's on the nootropic stack.
Yeah, he's been getting into kratom.
He's listening to the Joe Rogan podcast and just really living his best life.
Yeah, someone told him about gorilla mindset, and he hasn't fucking lived it down for a week.
Took it a little too seriously.
Yeah.
No, I love how we're introduced to him though, because like he just wakes up in the morning, scratches his ass, just doing regular ass dude things.
He's Shrek is what he is. He's Shrek.
He is kind of
Shrek in his swamp.
I like that he kind of got a beard, like his like lower chin hairs got longer. It was like, okay,
he did become a neckbeard. Like he really was rocking that, fuckboy jawline circa like 2014 style shit.
I need the next Kong movie. I need him to get a fade.
Oh god!
It's
Godzilla using his atomic breath to give him like a tribal tattoo over a bicep.
Yeah, he's using the axe to give himself a lineup. He's like, all right, better hit the club. We're a little all over the place. I love it. Because we haven't even introduced a single human character. I'm almost considering just saying like, fuck them, because the movie is not about them. It was never about them. But Kong, though, is able to... he's not able to communicate openly. He's able to talk to one of like the Iwi native children who is the lone survivor of her tribe. And she's deaf, but can talk to Kong, which is like this... I didn't put together that she was deaf until I was like, why the fuck does the sound keep cutting out whenever we look at Godzilla? And then I'm like, oh yeah, she's
Wait, did
deaf.
I turn the subtitles on? Like, what the
Well, I mean, I don't know, and maybe I'm the only one kind of feeling this, but it feels like there is now a trope of like the magical disabled person in movies.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's just like sure, they're deaf, which normally, as we all know, would fucking suck, would make them miserable and borderline worthless, but they can talk to the giant monkey, so they have value to us. See, audience, it just feels incredibly pandering to just not kind of let a deaf person be a deaf person. Like, I don't know, make one of the deaf people just someone else, literally anyone else.
I thought that her whole shtick was that she was supposed to be like descended from the Chinese lady or the Japanese lady that like lived on the island before, but nope, she's just some random lady that like is the descendant of the tribe or some shit.
Yep, that's right. The whole tribe got knocked out except for her, which is borderline genocide that occurred, and
you know it was Monarch that was like,
exactly.
all right, guys, remember, no Russian.
fucking Rodan came through on a hurricane, just wiped them all out, and then Monarch didn't send any rescue effort whatsoever. Just let those sons of bitches drown.
They absolutely funded some like right-wing death squad to come in. Like they didn't do it themselves. They got some reactionary locals to do it for them in classic imperialist style.
They got Charles Dance's character from the previous movie to come through and fucking wipe them all out.
I see. I forgot that he actually was in this goddamn franchise. Like the cast overall that has come through this movie is insane. Like if you look at like how many characters have been in the MonsterVerse, it's like 50 something.
They get rid of them with every movie, which is fine. They do that in the Japanese ones, but it's like if you're gonna have like a continuity across the movies, you should also have them with the human characters, and they didn't figure that out until literally like with Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, and her dad because they had to.
Yeah, what the fuck happened to the guy who survived who the fuck was that actor? I think he was Quicksilver in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
He just dips. He's like, yeah, I helped take down Godzilla, and now I guess I'm just gonna chill.
Oh, that's right. That had Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen in the 2014.
Yes, they were fucking.
Oh man, how do you not hold on to those people like that? That would be interesting because I'm almost willing to bet if I were to go by rough age that their kid that they have would probably be Millie Bobby Brown's age at this time.
I feel like that was absolutely supposed to be like the original draft of King of Monsters, and then Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen were like, "No, we're getting that Marvel check," and they're like, "Fuck."
Yeah. Foiled yet again. Our counteroffer of being in a Fantastic Beast movie didn't quite sell them the way that we were hoping. But yeah, so little girl teaches Kong sign language magically somehow without the government knowing. That'll come in later at some point.
It's weird because we see her doing it and they don't figure it out until they have Kong on the boat. They're like, "Oh wait, he can talk," and it's
they just think the deaf girl is that disabled. It's just random hand gestures.
and then they exploit the shit out of her because that's how they like calm Kong down when they got him in chains. They just like roll out the deaf girl to like have a human connection with him.
Sun's getting real low or whatever.
Another thing was like I saw there was like a magazine that you see for like 20 seconds where you see that like Rebecca Hall's character is called the Kong Whisperer, and it's like so she was just making fat stacks off of like abusing this deaf girl and making her live on an island with a giant monkey and do sign language, and then she's over here collecting like billions on a research chemical.
The island where her entire people were wiped out.
Yeah.
Like, no, we want you to stay here. That's what we want you to do.
Just like if like Jane Goodall was a groomer.
You're so kaiju for your age.
Oh, fuck.
God.
Well, I guess to leave one grooming situation and move into another potential one, let's talk about like the man of the hour, Bernie Hayes, who's an employee at Apex Cybernetics. He's a paper boy from Atlanta. And then he's
paper boy.
And then he's also the host of the Titan Truth Conspiracy Theory podcast. So good shout out right there to Titan Truth. And then, just an amazing logo. It's always nice to see these like crackpot, insane conspiracy theory podcasts. That as someone who runs a podcast, I'm like, man, that's a pretty sick graphic. Like he put some effort into that. I don't even
remember the logo. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah,
it was like a triangle with the monster eye in it, which I think you said like it does. I do agree. It does look like the graphics for the '98 Godzilla movie.
Yep.
Like the ads and stuff, or just like the logo on the posters. But yeah, so the great little bit of world building there, it was basically like, I thought they were ripping off like TrueAnon or something, or like, I was just like, yeah, this writer definitely like is sort of in the podcast milieu, but I guess it was written like before. So I think sort
it
of
was
predicted
supposed to be like InfoWars, but like, I think it was like in 2014 when InfoWars was like a funny curiosity. And it was like, everyone looked at the funny conspiracy theory man. And then
whose name is Bernie.
yeah.
Oh wow, the podcasters and Bernie have united somehow, huh? Wow, what a time! What a time to be alive. But that actually brings us though to a sponsored segment break, I believe. Grift, is that right?
Yeah. So Garbage In, Garbage Out is brought to you as always by the Grift Shop. This week on the Grift Shop, we got White Boy Summer merch. If you're down with the movement, but don't want to give money to Chet Hanks, just search WBS on Grift Shop. We got tanks, we got hats, we got shirts, pretty much everything a white boy or any boy or girl or non-binary individual would need to just have a great fucking summer and look fresh. So yeah, go check that out.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. Very succinct. See, any ad read I would attempt to do would take like 5 minutes. So just applause to you.
I would have accidentally called the product gay somehow.
Well, see, I haven't dropped any shorts yet. So once I do, I'll have to determine whether the length is gay or not.
We got to drop some Netscape shirts.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, dude, we gotta talk merch collab coming up soon.
We do.
Yeah.
So my question, at least with Bernie and with Apex Cybernetics as a whole, is how in the fuck does Apex not understand that Bernie is a mole? Like, if he's some like conspiracy theorist type guy, how is he able to just navigate all around Apex? What the fuck is that company's security like? Because
it is so funny that
they break in everywhere so easily. Like,
they just leave doors open and shit. They are so bad at this. Like, it would be like if you just walked in to Epstein's temple and you were like, "Yeah, I'm just here for the food," like, and then you clearly had a GoPro like strapped to your head, and everyone was just like, "I guess he's here for the food."
Well, I mean, it's later in the movie we'll see when he teams up with the children to form like the Bizarro Scooby-Doo gang. It's a large black guy, fat New Zealand kid, and then like a little preteen white girl that are just walking around the military complex, and no one's
weirded out by it at all. And she's like a celebrity too, because when they do eventually get caught, everyone's like, "Oh, that's the girl from Stranger Things. We got to kill her because she knows Godzilla."
That's right. She was the magical girl from the previous movie, who is now no longer magical. So, the powers have faded, Millie Bobby Brown. How could you?
Yeah, they do her so dirty in this movie. It's fun. She just gets relegated to a B plot.
The entire crew doesn't need to exist whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Like, none of Team Godzilla needs to happen whatsoever, because like their whole function is to cause like a 2-second delay in Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, that's the only material thing they do in the entire movie. Like, that's
Absolutely.
The only purpose. Yeah,
and like exposition.
Yeah. It's some real fucking bullshit, because I'm willing to bet that probably was a studio note. Was like, but wait, like, what do they actually do? Well, they stop Godzilla or Mecha Godzilla later on, but like, how do we know that for sure? Ultimately, like, oh, I don't know. We'll develop Chekhov's flask somehow. We'll have him have like a dead wife.
I mean, it is kind of realistic, given how little podcasts have an effect on the world. Just have their characters just be completely neutered and have basically no effect on the plot whatsoever. It's sort of realist there.
I mean, that he's basically like a functioning alcoholic in this movie. Like, he's like, he has to, like, right before he thinks he's gonna die, he's like, "Lord, forgive me. It's time to go back to the old me," and he like pulls out the boots.
It really was just one of those things where when I was watching it, I was like, well, I mean, I guess it would mess it up a little bit, but I'm not sure like a flask's worth over at like a computer monitoring station. Like, surely they would waterproof it a little bit. They wouldn't have like specialized keycaps or something.
They waterproof like hospital computers, and like they got those like drop proof, like waterproof construction laptops and shit.
Tough book.
Exactly. But for some reason they don't have waterproof the Godzilla brain connector.
They never will. The other thing with him, and it was something that I thought was, again, very cute, reminiscent of like the Alex Jones conspiracy theory thing, is talking about the fluoride in the water that's meant to control you and make you docile. I was like, oh no, Bernie would be like a Q guy right now. Like that's what Bernie
Oh
would
my
be.
God. He would be trusting the plan so fucking hard right now.
And he would be right too.
Yeah.
Because he was right in this whole movie. He's like, yeah, they got like, fucking Hollow Earth and shit, and there's literally like elite tunnels under all the major cities that they use to transport illicit goods.
My biggest issue, legitimately, is that this movie did the thing I didn't think they were going to do, which was Hollow Earth, but they will never probably do fucking mole people. And I want to see Kong versus the mole people. That's all I want to see. Just, some real...
The Japanese Godzilla films are big on, like, all conspiracy theories are real. There's like 4 different ones that are like, yeah, there's a secret continent that the government is hiding from you. Or some shit.
Let's do it. I would be in favor of it. I mean, I guess we should probably talk about actually like Team Kong though, because we've kind of rounded out the crew of Team Godzilla, and then we get to see like who actually is going to be helping out Kong, and that's Dr. Nathan Lind, who's Alexander Skarsgård, aka Tarzan.
He's doing a big what's that guy who plays Lightning McQueen? He's doing a him impression.
Oh, an Owen Wilson impression?
Owen Wilson, yeah.
Yeah. What if Owen Wilson was Indiana Jones, but bad at everything?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just no charisma whatsoever.
Or Aaron Eckhart. Like if you guys ever seen the movie The Core, like that movie felt a lot like this one in a
It hurts because Aaron Eckhart probably would have done a better job.
Absolutely.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
What? Also, like, how much is Aaron Eckhart? Like, why couldn't you just get us an Aaron Eckhart? Why does it have to be an Alexander Skarsgård? Come on now.
Yeah, I've never seen Alexander Skarsgård in it. Like, I've seen all the other Skarsgårds in movies they've done pretty good shit in, but I've never seen.
Oh, you especially need to then watch The Legend of Tarzan, which is where he plays Tarzan, and then it's like a buddy cop film with Samuel L. Jackson as the other co-lead. So yeah, he's a Hollow Earth theorist, and he's talking about like the Hollow Earth is real. My brother died trying to get into the Hollow Earth, trying to bust it wide open.
Is weird because they proved Atlantis was real in the last one, and then they're like, yeah, also we're gonna fire this professor who thinks that Hollow Earth is real and that there might be like secret giant monsters that we don't know about. And it's like, for some reason, he doesn't have a job.
Yeah. If anything, he would become like the new like TED Talk guy.
Yeah, absolutely. He would have like he would have like whatever when they get rid of, obviously they would get rid of the woke department first, the ones that generate the least amount of money. And then he would have like the woke classrooms.
Yeah, like replace all the IDPOL courses with like kaiju studies. And I think the world would be a better place.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Godzilla doesn't give a shit about your 21st century feminism degree. Godzilla's going to kill us all. You need to understand how to live under Godzilla.
I would absolutely go to school if I read about the Hollow Earth. Holy shit. I would be a full-time student.
Well, I mean, okay, let's go ahead and talk about the Hollow Earth, right? Like, there are all these entry points all over the world to get into the Hollow Earth that are like a series of tunnels that go in. And that's different than the tunnels that run across the Earth that have been utilized for, like, I don't know, Elon Musk-style transit tubes that send people, like, from the UK to China. And so these tunnels go in, and then the Earth is hollow on the inside, but it's not quite there at the Earth's core, right? Am I missing something?
It looked like it was like 2 layers down or some shit, like on like the Earth cutaway. It was like the inner core was hollow, but the outer core was hollow, but the inner core was solid, maybe.
Okay. So there's like another layer of it. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Like the hollowness is that like sort of atmosphere in between the 2 land masses, and then beneath the second continent, I imagine it would be solid,
Okay.
but who knows how deep the Hollow Earth goes?
Yeah.
It would
Maybe
be cool if, like, in the next one, they're like, there's a Hollow Earth inside the Hollow Earth.
Yeah,
Sure,
But then,
why
but then
not?
the scientist who's promoting that theory, everyone thinks he's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
all the scientists that live on Hollow Earth now were like, but that's ridiculous. Everyone knows that the Earth is hollow. The sun rises from the east, west, north, south. I don't understand how the light source works here. So
It would rule if in the next one they just flash back to Hollow Earth and there's like a McDonald's there already. Like they've already like fucking they've gentrified the Hollow Earth.
they're polluting it actively. That's where we're pumping all of our pollution is down the giant hole that exists. God, I could see
there's like some like juice bar selling like wheatgrass smoothies
Yeah.
that is saying like this is what Kong eats. Like
They've got a dispensary down there. They've got fucking like Godzilla strain or some shit.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh man. Also, like
Kaiju runts.
that could work. That could work. Because the other thing is that these Titans, they feed off of the radiation at the center of the Earth. Like that's what we got told in 2014. So, like, are all of the humans that were exposed, are they about to like cook like they've been in the microwave for a day and a half, or like what's their radiation exposure looking like?
Yeah,
These are just questions I have.
I mean, they didn't get out of the car or the space car for too much, so they might be good on that regard. But yeah, it is sort of weird that they sort of ignore how or what the radiation does. They're just like, we got to get that radiation, dude.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and go hop into the center of the Earth in the heaves, the Hollow Earth anti-gravity vehicles. Because sure, why not call it cool little space shuttle suits, right? The technology is ridiculous in this movie, by the way. Like in 2014, it's basically like the technology we have now. In 2017, it's basically the technology that we have now. And then all of a sudden, we like had a giant leap ahead.
It's like going from the first Avengers movie to like the last one where it's like, okay, we have like a secret floating ship that we don't tell people about. And then in the most recent one, it's like, yeah, we got spaceships.
Of course we got spaceships. What, you guys don't have spaceships? Come on now. I mean, it just felt like...
It does make sense that there would be new Godzilla technology, but it was kind of weird that it would be so rapid.
Yeah, because I mean, it
I
just
guess
feels
these are like the Cybertruck, though. They don't have these for regular people yet. They just have them for like influencers.
They just have the 3, and you have to have at least 6 million fans on Instagram. That's how it works in order to qualify for a heave. But
this was absolutely some Elon Musk boondoggle project that was commissioned by them. Like,
it's funny because they almost crashed the heaves. Like the one purpose they're supposed to do is survive in like the center of the Earth, and then they almost fuck it up and crash.
Oh yeah, it's almost done. Although I will say, because this entire thing felt like it was a big tangent that for the most part could kind of get cut away from the movie, and spectacle aside, I don't think plot point wise we would miss a step. So the only logical explanation I have for it is that they're going to try and make like a Hollow Earth heave roller coaster ride. Like that's got to be what they're going to be pushing.
That's going to be the new Universal Studio. It felt like when they dodged Kong's hand during, I think it was the Hong Kong part where they have to like dodge Kong.
Yeah. When they're coming right out of it, so they avoid
like,
Kong barely, then Godzilla.
That's what they're gonna turn like the Mummy ride at Universal Studios.
No, come on, the Mummy. That's a national treasure. They can't do that. Oh no. Oh, it would happen.
That's what they're gonna turn the Fast and Furious ride into.
Yeah, after they cancel that one for having some scantily clad women, it's problematic. Let's get the Kong ride in there now,
which sucks because that's the best one of those interactive rides in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
See, as someone who hasn't actually done the Fast and Furious ride, I can't weigh in
so
on
good.
it. But I'm a fan of the Fast and Furious movies for being dumb fun. So if the roller coasters is anything like that, then I'm all on board.
There's literally like a you have to go to a strip club segment and like
Yeah.
you have to recruit fucking.
Is this
who's
like
the black
San
guy in those
Andreas? Is
movies?
this what's happening? What the fuck? Oh.
Yeah, you have to recruit whoever the fuck it's Tyrese. Yeah, you have to recruit Tyrese, and he's like at the strip club. So you have to like go to the strip club.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Well, yeah. The image is dancing around in my head like cherry plums or whatever the fuck.
Sugar plum fairies.
Sugar plum fairies. There we go. Thank you for understanding like what my brain is unspooling right now because. So, okay, we're now finally, though, at the sequence of where they're taking Kong via giant battleship destroyer to go try and take him into the actual hollow Earth. And then Godzilla, it pops up on his radar, though. So Godzilla makes a beeline for Kong and madness ensues. What did we think about this actual sequence here?
Fucking rocked.
Yeah, buddy.
Ruled, except for Kong straight up sucker punched the shit out of God. That was a party foul.
Oh man, there's some Godzilla bias happening right now.
I paused the movie and put on Marvin's Room. I was like, I can't hang right now. Like I just watched my boy get straight up bitch punched.
Yeah, you know what's a real sucker punch move? Dragging the guy who's in chains to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah,
while in chains.
Godzilla
Come on,
straight
now.
up does like an illegal chokehold on.
Yeah. But by sucker punching him, basically Kong is doing what Drake has his bodyguards do to people.
The entire sequence, at least for me, it was wonderful. It made me realize like we had never gotten like a real Godzilla in the water for American cinemas fight, and so it was delightful for me to then see them kind of treating the giant battleships as just basically little just floaties almost, it was insane to see.
I didn't even know Kong could swim.
Yeah.
Yeah, who the fuck taught Kong to swim?
The little deaf girl again. Just now, if you're surrounded by liquid, water, we know that sign. Water. Okay, now you're gonna breaststroke your way out of it. So,
there's just something about seeing capital U.S. military assets just getting absolutely destroyed and sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Like there's just like I don't know,
they were nothing. I mean, It honestly looked like a drunken stepdad tearing through some paper mache arts and crafts that like a 4-year-old had made. Like they did not stand a fucking chance the entire way through.
Fucking Godzilla like collision kills one. Like he just bumps into it and it tears in half. I did say I even though I am Godzilla fan, like when King Kong used the F-16 as a spear, that was pretty tight.
I never felt worse for that pilot guy on the inside.
That was also a sick shot when it did the POV shot from the jet taking off. That was a nice shot.
I really hope that was an F-35 because it would probably be the most useful that plane will ever be as like a flying projectile thrown by Kong. Although the pilot probably wouldn't be able to make it out if that were the case.
You get the POV shot of him ejecting and he just shears in half because they forgot to fix the ejector seat.
His head just gets cut off by the ripcord or whatever.
It was also a pretty just definitive victory for round one for Godzilla, I will say. I mean, he beat the brakes off of Kong, where then they're like, the only way to survive is to play dead, which worked somehow, because I guess that's the first time any kaiju or anyone has ever tried playing dead. Because it seems like Godzilla, although he's an animal, he's a smart enough creature that, like, if someone plays dead once, he'll learn, no, you got to make sure, double tap that shit, make sure that he's actually dead.
Yeah, I really like that about the fights in this fight in particular. Whereas a lot of these other movies, it's just either two beasts or two giant metal monsters or whatever, just like smashing at each other with no sort of like fight logic to it. Whereas like the way they went toe to toe, particularly using the ships and the water and just the using the surroundings in like a realistic way, just it felt like it felt like a realistic fight between two guys. They just happened to be both giant monsters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it
someone
really
taught King Kong Krav Maga. Like he was like scratching him and fucking biting him, and
oh man, it really was just again like watching two heavyweights go at it. So I enjoyed that an awful lot because you know. The other thing I guess I should mention is that then after they play dead, we do like this bizarre hard cutaway from where the actual action is, because they're like, we're playing dead, we can't make any noise, otherwise Godzilla will find us and then kill us. We cut away to seeing like what Team Godzilla is up to, because that's then when they discover Mecha Godzilla is a thing, right?
yeah,
They get oh shit. And then when they cut back, that's then when they're in Antarctica and Kong is being carried by helicopter. Like, what the fuck happened? At some point in time, noise had to have been made to then carry.
They cut to the secret Nazi Antarctica base that they have.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've already talked about, I guess, how Mechagodzilla existed. Were y'all surprised at all about Mechagodzilla? Did y'all have that spoiled for you?
I did, because I was on the 4chan Kaiju board before, and so there was like when someone found like a toy or some shit in like a Ross.
Yeah.
And they were like,
yeah, it was they had like the Warbats, the Hellhawks, and Mechagodzilla just like all ready to go before even like the first trailer dropped. For
I did a good job of not spoiling it like trailer wise, but they did do the thing where every movie does, where they're like, we got to sell those toys beforehand. It was like, just hold for like a day.
Yeah.
Gotta hate when the spoilers come from like the ancillary media like that.
Exactly.
I have not been as clued into that as you were, so I did not have Mechagodzilla spoiled for me, which was fucking awesome.
Oh, hell yeah.
When they revealed like that was going to be the final boss, I was just like, let's fucking go.
And like, the design was tight too.
Yeah, let's talk about Mechagodzilla a little bit here. So Apex is, just the most insult to injury kind of thing in the world would be like if you found out that a corporation wanted to kill you, but the way they were going to kill you was by building a robot version of you to then kill you. I'd be like, come on, guys, this seems like some bullshit here. Because that's exactly what they did. It looks just like Godzilla meets Transformers, essentially, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
I like the design. I like that you could follow what was happening. Like, it wasn't like a Transformer where there's like 90 billion moving parts all at once. It was like, his hands twist sometimes, and that's it.
And you actually saw like the rockets firing, and then
exactly.
It all made sense with it. So that's cool. Do you want to talk about the pilot at all of Mechagodzilla?
I do. So I don't think they ever talk about this in the movie, but that guy's supposed to be related to the other Japanese guy.
Yes, let them fight guy, right?
They have the same last name according to Letterboxd, which I don't think ever gets brought up in the movie. But he was kind of cool. I like that he was like bad boy mech pilot. Like he was like dripped out in the beginning. He had like a fucking turtleneck on.
Swag.
Yeah.
He was like, what if the Pacific Rim pilots were also Twitch streamers? Like that was his whole vibe.
He looked like he like smoked cigarettes. Like they should have had him like blasted cigs all the time or some shit.
Well, I mean, like he actually, and again, we're talking about like how the technology seems so ridiculous, because it really is ridiculous to think that like 10 years prior in the world of this universe, you have Aaron Taylor Johnson and Bryan Cranston, having to say like a tearful goodbye on a helicopter, right? Like that's what's actually taking place. Now you have like someone who's being telepathic piloting around here. And the way that it's able to work somehow is that he feeds telepathic thoughts into the skull of Monster Zero, which
Yes,
then goes
King Ghidorah.
into King Ghidorah and into then the actual Mechagodzilla, which I'm not still sure like how that works. Mostly because sorry,
They've
go
actually
ahead.
done something similar before in the Japanese Godzillas. In I think Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, they use King Ghidorah parts because of like the three brains. Like that was like a callback to one of the Heisei movies.
And that makes all the sense in the world, like, I'm sure, within their own world building. What I don't get is if Mechagodzilla is then acting completely rogue and they're not able to control him whatsoever, how in the fuck does spilling the flask actually delay anything with Mechagodzilla?
That was so dumb.
I don't want to keep circling back to that point, but that just. Oh man, goddamn!
It was some Scooby Doo shit.
Yeah, and they built this cool ass set for like the Mechagodzilla piloting room, where he's literally piloting him like in a skull that has these huge neon cables coming out of it, and then they're like, "Now we have to go to the computer room."
Yeah, no, we can't do anything here. Because wouldn't severing probably those cables do more good than being in the computer room? Yeah, who the fuck? Yeah, I mean, my God.
I wanted to see more of those cables. The power-up scene with the whole thing, that was tight. That was a cool shot, and all the lights going off. This movie used neon in a way that like didn't feel annoying. Like it wasn't like a Thor Ragnarok or a Guardians of the Galaxy 2 where it's pointless. It felt like, oh yeah, no, Godzilla's fighting in Tokyo. Of course, there's going to be neon, and like you have these sick ass cables.
Well, it's Hong Kong. It's Hong Kong. Come on now. Yeah,
Hong Kong.
We have to make it as Americanized but still foreign as humanly possible.
That's right.
Yeah, we gotta make them know that the conflict is between the U.S. and China, and what better place to set the finale than Hong Kong, where the U.S. has a U.S. corporation has this like secret lab that they're building a weapon to use against the Asian monster.
Godzilla steps on the Hong Kong protester.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would have been a great little bit if they would just that had been going on just below, and then they just get like a tail just comes out and just swipes like a whole like
they're like building trebuchets out of Home Depot parts, and then meanwhile like Mechagodzilla just like comes through. I liked the building that they built to house Mechagodzilla. This like fucked up black pyramid. It was kind of tight.
Yeah, what's inside that dark, shady, foreboding pyramid? I don't know, probably something incredibly wholesome and good that American company has under wraps. Let's not ask too many questions about it. God.
Yeah, it was a dark Bass Pro Shops.
I wonder if it was trying to do like I think it was kind of trying to look like the Blade Runner pyramid or something. I don't know.
Possibly. I mean, I just realized that we completely skipped over the actual point of like the Hollow Earth with Kong, and that was him getting his goddamn laser axe. That's all basically that was needed for going to the center of the Earth, because we find out that there was a war that took place a long time ago between Godzillas and Kongs, and it was a long time ago, and it was a war, and that's all we know. And also, here's a cool axe that will come in handy later. It's his King Arthur moment, I guess.
And yes, I loved the Godzilla floor tribal tat that they had in the King Arthur.
Yeah, I love how just nothing is explained. Like, who built this throne room? Like, what's like just none of it is explained. It just looks badass, and we're just gonna go with that.
Yeah, did the Kongs build it? Like, were the Kongs actually like a super sentient race? Well, or is King Kong like that inbred and stupid now at this point? like 300 years ago, could all of the Kongs speak fluent English, and then they slowly just you know?
We're gonna find out like 3 movies in that the Kongs built the pyramids.
The series just goes full like Orientalism. Like,
I would love if this movie jumps both the Orientalism shark and then also like the conspiracy brain shark. I want them to go to like the moon base or some shit.
Oh my God! Please, Kong on the moon. Let's do it. What
Hollow Moon? Let's go.
Yes.
It's an egg. It's an egg, and there's a giant kaiju.
Yes, that would. They're like that's where they get Space Godzilla or some shit. Like,
Oh fuck yeah, yeah. Oh man, see, we're pitching way better sequels than we will ever get. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I think
we're getting like a shitty Godzilla movie and a shitty King Kong movie. Probably like we're gonna get like probably like a Kong I forget, where do they go from here?
Yeah, I mean that's a real question. I think because they kind of fought to a standstill. So then I think Kong is probably going to go hang out in the Hollow Earth. So who knows what crazy IP legendary pictures will put together in that writer's room. Godzilla's going to go try and be like loving stepdad to that Mothra egg that kept getting mentioned time and time again in this movie. So
Oh, did it? I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah. That was like one of the podcast episodes that was in both the Monarch base area, like reference was on the screen, and then also in Apex. So yeah, so Mothra's coming back, baby, somehow.
That's cool. I fuck with Mothra.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that honestly, my favorite part of Godzilla King of the Monsters, which is again a high bar to clear for that particular movie. But okay, so Kong has the axe. He then climbs up the hole that Godzilla has fucking drilled a hole to the center of the earth using his atomic breath, because Godzilla is God for all intents and purposes. Kong and Godzilla fight in Hong Kong. That's where the bisexual lighting joke that everyone I think has already made on Twitter, right, has taken place.
There was a lot of pointless neon, but this felt like the least pointless because it was actually like something that exists in real life.
Mm-hmm. And
like,
I mean,
why the fuck did they put the neon strips on the like skull crawler container? Like, what was the point of that? No one is ever going to see that.
It needs to look cool. Okay, come on.
Yeah, I also like. I don't think we've touched on it yet, but I really enjoyed like how the score fit the action scenes. Like it was this sort of like pulsing techno type vibe to it.
You know who you can credit with that? Junkie XL, the person who did the score for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Congratulations!
Of course,
hell yeah, dude, he's on a roll. He did the Wonder Woman theme, which fucks. I fuck with the Wonder Woman theme. I think he helped write the Superman theme as well.
Yeah, my biggest claim to fame with Junkie XL is that he did a Little Less Conversation, that Elvis Presley remix, and then also he did like the score for Madden 15, and I was like, hell yeah, right up my alley.
That's some pedigree right there.
Yeah, exactly. I believe in Zack Snyder, Madden, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, let's add some of this.
I'm glad that they didn't do like a shitty remix of the Godzilla theme like they did in the previous one.
Yeah,
where they had him coming in with it was like a modernized version of the Godzilla theme, set to like F fucking 16s flanking Godzilla,
making him seem like a real American hero for some reason. Yeah. When Godzilla and Kong fought in Hong Kong, that is when I really kind of started being like, well, I'm enjoying this movie. Like, all this dumb, pointless bullshit is finally worth something now. Because watching them go at it like pro wrestlers, where Godzilla is throwing Kong into buildings, Kong is climbing up buildings, he's getting fucking lasered and trying to duck and cover. I mean, it was insane to watch them fight. It felt so visceral and real.
That axe was too OP. That axe was too OP.
It's amazing that Kong's secret weapon was one of Godzilla's dorsal fins or plates or whatever. Like,
fuck, that's what it was. Okay, I thought it was like the weird floaty metal.
I mean, like, it makes it really macabre when you think about it. Like, that's one of Godzilla's ancestors that Kong is using to supercharge and then beat a motherfucker with.
Yeah, so. I didn't pick up on that, but it does make a lot of sense because then it would be able to hold the Godzilla nuclear like power within to unleash. Yeah,
I like the nice effect that they made the breath a lot quicker than in other movies.
Oh yeah,
it was nice.
Where it doesn't take 90 seconds of wind up at all. Yeah. I mean,
Which is, it's cool when it's in the Japanese movies because everything takes 90 seconds. But then it's like, if we're going to have these quick ass American movies, like, give me that quick wind
Now,
up.
we say
like,
quick ass
go.
American movies. This film had a runtime of like 2 hours. It could have easily been 90 minutes, maybe even 85, I think, if we were to cut out
Yeah.
all the pointlessness of it. But, you know, it makes sense. So Kong and Godzilla fight again. Kong is declared the winner a little too early. There's that line like, looks like round 2 goes to Kong. And then Godzilla fucking slides his toe right into
bullshit.
Kong's chest and just fucking murks him. I thought that was cool.
It gets pretty brutal for Kong there. Like, he gets his shoulder dislocated. Like, he just gets his chest ripped up. Like, it's pretty, like, there's some like visceral like tangible damage to Kong you can see on screen.
Yeah, he is not looking good for large portions of this. And then that's when, of course, we get the whole like, oh, his heart is slowing down. Oh no. What do we possibly have that could act like a giant bomb that would restart his heart? Oh, this heave device. Oh.
That's the one fucking plot device any of those movies have where it's like, we got to restart the heart of this creature.
And I mean, I don't get it, honestly. Like, how in the fuck do they know how to operate a heave to act like a giant bomb? They just found out what the fuck a heave was like a day ago.
Yeah, they did that same shit where they're like, we're gonna nuke Godzilla, and it's like, I'm tired of it. Like, just let the kaijus do the kaiju shit. Like, stop letting the humans get involved. It's boring.
Yeah,
it isn't what the people want, for God's sakes. Come on now.
Yeah, this is not film kino. We don't care about the fucking character arcs or development or any of that shit. No, like we want as much of the runtime possible is giant kaijus fighting. And like there should be no anyone making these movies. There should be no other thing they should like be thinking about going in terms of just they should be their perspective should be just as getting as much monster action as possible on screen.
I legitimately mean this. Like a 1-to-1 of monster fighting to everything else. Not 20 minutes of your 2-hour movie is monster fighting. 1 hour of monster fighting for 1 hour of all of the other bullshit that you're going to put us through.
Absolutely. Especially because they don't know how to do good human shit. Like the Japanese figured it out, which is you just have to like rip off other good movies.
And also letting scenes breathe. That's what they do in the Japanese movies.
Yeah,
instead of what happens here all throughout the fucking third act, which is when you're finally getting into watching Kong and Godzilla teaming up against Mechagodzilla, and it cuts away to Millie Bobby Brown every 45 seconds. I do not give a single shit about this. I don't give a fuck about the deaf kid. I just want to watch the monsters fight each other.
I just want to watch them team up because we've had them sort of Kong and Godzilla being manipulated for the humans' own ends, but to just see them like put aside all that and team up to fight the greater evil, like that was one of the biggest fuck yeah moments like of at the movies this year at least.
I'm glad that they didn't take their sweet ass time with it. They were just like, the deaf girl was just like, she threw up her gang sign and she's like, "No, we're cool with Godzilla now." And then Kong was like, "All right, I guess, like, let's fuck up this robot."
My question, and maybe, Cole, you can help me out here, Grift, you as well, please. And why didn't Godzilla do his energy pulse move from King of the Monsters? Do you remember that?
He was charged up with the up with the nuke, so he could only do it once.
Got it.
Yeah,
I was just waiting for that. I was like, oh well, I mean, this could be a game over.
That's a reference to the last in the Heisei series, the versus Destroya, which is really good. It's basically like Aliens meets Godzilla. It's tight as fuck. And yeah, he's charged up with the nuke, and that's why.
Well, then I guess I will forgive the movie for that. The entire time I thought like, oh well, Godzilla isn't even in full blown desperation mode because he's not doing this power move yet. And so then when I see Mechagodzilla really just fucking beat the hell out of regular Godzilla. I was very confused. Like, I understand Kong took a lot out of Godzilla, but my God, just I was not ready for watching Godzilla getting thrown into buildings and shit. That was some.
Yeah, God, they fuck him up so hard in this movie. I almost had to put on Marvin's Room again. I was like, come on, man.
It's not fair. He just wants to help. Come on now. Oh. And of course that's then when we get the whole the flask spills, which creates a 2-second delay, which fucking again, I don't know. The humans in this movie are pointless. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And they straight up give that guy a brain damage. Like, they killed that guy. They killed that Japanese guy. He is going to be a vegetable for the rest of his life.
Watch him just be fine in the next movie. Being like, well, actually.
I mean, I hope so, because it would be cool because we get him. I want more shots of him being swagged out. Like, they should just, if they're going to do human shit, make everyone just act cool constantly. Like, make everyone act like they're in the Matrix or something.
Yeah, that I think is the action plan.
Just have him come back in like the next one. He's got some like chemical or like electricity burns on him. Like he's out for revenge.
He dyes part of his hair red or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's maybe got like bone fragments of the Ghidorah skull like injected into his head.
Yeah, the electricity like merged his brain with the consciousness so he can like talk to the kaijus and
oh fuck, now we're just creating Charlie Day's character from Pacific Rim 2.
Oh shit. Oh no.
That's actually all we've done
yeah, but he's goth.
Oh okay, I get it. Much cooler.
Yeah, he's wearing eyeliner now.
I probably one of my favorite scenes about watching like Godzilla and Kong fight is when they team up and the finisher really of Godzilla supercharging Kong's axe and then allowing just
that was some galaxy brain shit.
Yeah, that really was like, I'm gonna trust this guy. Oh my God, thank God he's fucking up that robot, because Kong really just kind of demolishes Mechagodzilla with ease with that axe once he gets rocking and rolling with it, you know.
That axe is too OP. They better get rid of that shit the next movie.
They better not if we want to see him fight the moon egg or whatever the fuck.
Okay, if he's fighting the moon egg, then he can get the axe. In fact, give him a whole suit of Godzilla armor.
I was gonna say Godzilla gives him like all of his extra dorsal plates that are at the ocean's floor, so he can make a whole bunch of ammo. Kong can fire out dorsal fin bullets now.
That would rule.
Yeah. I feel like it's
King Kong with a gun would whip shit.
Yeah. Oh my God, that'd be so based.
That's just what the next movie's got to be called, is King Kong with a gun.
I love the direction this franchise is taken.
That would do fucking numbers.
Wakes up, scratches his ass, empties a full clip into the wall. Fires a few shots in the air to lower the property value in Skull Island.
I love it. So
actually, yeah, they got to gentrify Skull Island too. I want to see the Skull Island McDonald's.
Kaiju burgers probably would be a thing that could exist. So
they'd have some like organic seaweed, like pop-up shop or something.
Yeah.
For one day
skull
only.
Crawler shish kebabs.
Oh fuck! I could get with that. I could. Oh man, some fried skull crawler. That sounds amazing right now. So yeah. I guess the movie then kind of like ends after they destroy Mechagodzilla, because they're like, well, I guess we can be friends. Godzilla goes back into the oceans. Kong goes into the hollow earth, and so. Then the movie wraps up super fast because they know we are not here for the human characters. We do not give a single fuck.
There's no end credit scene bullshit. There's no like, it doesn't even have in the previous one, which I didn't hate, was like the little like lore drops at the end.
Here's something fun for you, Cole. You know that the very last scene where Kong, you see him in the hollow earth and he's beating his chest,
yes,
and all that that whole sequence. that shows the Monarch base. That was going to be an end credit scene, but people thought the movie wrapped up too fast, so they were just like, "Well, fuck it, we'll put it at the very end of the movie." So
I'm okay with that then.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed if they wanted to reorder it now. You know that we've all seen it, so. Yeah, that is kind of the movie. We were a little all over the place, but the movie really is only about Godzilla versus Kong. It's not like a whole bunch of other plot points that are important to it. So,
there's that CEO of Apex guy, the like gay Spanish guy that shows up for like 20 minutes and dies.
Yeah, he's trying to really fuck Tarzan the entire time. Like that's his whole vibe. He's about to invite Tarzan to his throuple after the whole Kong thing.
I thought that the daughter character was gonna like get into a romance. There's no romance, thank God. There's no fucking.
I was so happy when her pod blew up, dude. Man, that.
Oh, she died.
Yeah,
when she died, and I didn't even know she was. I was like, I don't even give a fuck.
Yeah. She was like, well, if you even think about trying to make a move, like, we'll kill you all or whatever. Then they start to take off. Kong grabs their pod and he looks inside, sees that the deaf girl isn't inside, and then he crushes it.
Okay, yeah, I did pick up on that, but I thought it was only the troops that were on there.
Oh, yeah, no, she's dead as fuck. So, congratulations.
Damn. She's gonna get merged with the Heave, and then she can fly.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, do we have any closing thoughts right now? Because, I mean, I know the Titan Truth podcast, as we leave the characters, they're about to record like an emergency pod with Bernie's about to have everyone fucking on to talk about what went down. So,
yeah, there's the tender reunitement with the dad character, Millie Bobby Brown's dad, who thankfully isn't in this movie.
Yeah, go. I don't know, pitch a Friday Night Lights, but the college years sequel or something. Jesus, God, such a bland character. I could not care less for any of the individual characters in this movie. Like,
absolutely,
it makes no sense. But
except for the Japanese guy, he was tight. I was like, I want more of him.
Yeah, all the focus was on the wrong characters. I think,
absolutely. It was like this deaf girl that I was completely zoned out of the movie, so I didn't even put together that she was deaf until 30 minutes in.
Well, I mean, like there's a way that they carry this movie through, and it makes sense, and it's like one family, and then dealing with trauma, and that's Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen, and then their child. The child then has the connection then with Godzilla, and then in Kong Skull Island, you can have the deaf child still exist, but then Aaron Taylor Johnson and his kid meet up with deaf child, and then whatever the research lady's name is, and then they're together. Like, you streamline.
Yeah, they could have cut like 4 characters out of this movie. They could have cut out Rebecca Hall, even though she's kind of hot, and fucking. I mean, I guess you can keep in the bad girl, but she's not really useful in it.
No,
except for like being down there.
You don't need Millie Bobby Brown's best friend at all.
Oh yeah, no, he was. I did not like him at all. He was annoying.
Go hunt for more wilder people. I think, right? That's what he's from. If I remember that in Deadpool 2. But
oh fuck, he was the kid in Deadpool 2. That's what I'd seen him from. He's got a small ass face, like for his head.
He'll grow into it. He'll grow into it.
Kid. Yeah.
That's what happens with all the New Zealanders. They end up becoming like 6'5" and jacked at some point in their lives. So
it would rule if he became the next Rock.
But with a full head of hair, rocking it that look the entire time.
I literally have no memories of Deadpool 2 besides like just a vague concept of it having a weird looking kid.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be evil or something. Or he was like a school shooter.
He was going to be evil. Yeah, he was like a super powered school shooter. But usually when we start talking about other movies, though, it's a good time to wrap things up. So
absolutely,
here's the last question I was going to ask y'all. It's a new thing that I want to ask, which is a 2-hour runtime. Would this have made the movie better or worse? Now, since this was at 2 hours, would y'all say that the movie should have been shorter, or like, do you want the Snyder cut of Kong to take place and have it be 5 hours?
I wouldn't say I want a Snyder cut, but I would restructure this movie. I would get rid of all of the Millie Bobby Brown shit. I would keep the podcast guy, maybe just make it like that's his shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would maybe merge the daughter of the rich guy and the mech pilot into one character.
Yeah. Specifically,
maybe have a
him.
scene where they exit the Hollow Earth, and then because he has good motivation, like Godzilla killed his dad, basically.
Yep. There is like a whole ass good movie with him in it that just didn't get made. So we can never
I feel like
forgive him.
If they focused on him more, and then less on all of the, like, I don't need the shitty Elon Musk guy. I don't need the New Zealand kid. I don't even really need the deaf kid, but I mean, she's sort of essential to the movie that exists. But like, just take out like 4 characters and then restructure the plot around that. And I think you got like a solid, like, competent film in there.
It could
and
work.
Lengthen the fights. Make it just a little bit long. Make every fight as long as the battle carrier fight, and more weird ass camera angles. I loved the POV shot from the fucking F-16 taking off.
Yeah, it was a joy to see. I think all of those would be big improvements. What about you, Grift? What?
That was a pretty damn good rundown. I would say, more monster fights, probably shorter runtime, combine some human characters, limit the human characters as much as possible, because we do not give a shit about you. We want to see like I just love all of those like really those film review websites that are just all butthurt about the fact that it's like the thing that is revitalizing movies is just a giant ape and a giant lizard punching each other.
Hell yeah.
Like, it's not, we're not here for story, we're not here for character development, we're not here for like emotion. No, like we're here to watch the monster rumble.
I think people are glad that it wasn't the Snyder cut, because they didn't want to give like Reddit guys just the biggest dub of all time, but they're like furious that it wasn't Black Widow. They're like, fuck, we 2 more months, god damn it, we could have had Black Widow.
If we had only stayed #still with her, then we could have had the Black Widow carry it home, but unfortunately not. So
man, that movie is gonna be awful.
No one is going to give a fuck about that movie. Like,
I don't even like Scarlett Johansson when she's in movies that I like.
For real. Like the whole thing with Marvel has been them relying on kind of just, there's something new every 3 months, and since it dominates all of our pop culture, you need to watch it, or at least be aware of it if you want to.
I tweeted about this today, but I don't know if you guys realize how many Marvel movies are coming out in the next 6 months.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal. That, and then the TV shows, and
once a month you're going to have pretty much something.
Oh, pump it right into my veins. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to be covering.
Until December.
Fucking shit.
Is this sort of them kicking off the next MCU phase? Like because
I think they're making up for lost time. Is what they're doing. Because they don't want to push back a bunch of the movies that have like post-pandemic release dates, but they don't want to like readjust their whole timeline. I feel like 1 or 2 of them might get moved to 2020. But they don't want to like do another massive shift like they have, like where they just drop everything down a few months.
Yeah, I mean,
so they're like trying to ram out Black Widow as fast as they can, and that sort of has a domino effect where they have to ram out all the other ones because of that.
Well, because they have Eternals, they have Shang-Chi, they have several that are
Spider-Man.
Oh my god,
yeah, and then there's even other Marvel movies that aren't made by Marvel that are coming out. You got Morbius, you got Venom.
Oh, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. That movie's going to be sick.
Yes.
Woody Harrelson as Carnage? Come on now. Let's get fucking pumped.
I hope they bring back Eminem. I want another Eminem soundtrack.
But I mean, okay. Well, we need to really be wrapping this up then before I start thinking about like what the Eminem Carnage song is going to be. So,
oh man,
where can people find you, Cole? Thank you so much for coming on.
I'm on I'm on Twitter at Java_Jigga. I'm on Letterboxd at Netscape_Negro, I think.
Hell yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Awesome. Grift, where can people find you?
The handle, as always, Grift Shop. The O is a 0, and the merch site is grift.shop, as you're probably aware.
And thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. Really, taking
as always, I'm looking forward to more ad reads because I think we got a really strong we picked up a strong endorsement here. So yeah,
absolutely.
The pod's gonna be well funded for many episodes to come.
Perfect. Then I guess also go ahead and follow the show on Twitter and Letterboxd at Gigo Podcast.
That's right.
GIGO podcast. And then for me, I hate to say it, just follow me, I guess, on TikTok. That seems to just be where
that's where you got the clout.
Yeah, apparently. Fuck this. 24,000 followers now. Fuck me. Whatever.
Throw up the TikTok. I'll sub right now.
It's at Sex Confetti. There we go. That's right.
Oh hell yeah!
It's all Robot Chicken clips. Gonna ride that wave until I run out of Robot Chicken clips, and then we're gonna start doing maybe some clips of this podcast using live on TikTok. Because fuck it, why not?
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Well, until next time, y'all. Deuces.
Peace.